Okay, so Waffle House workers are protesting. They're starting petitions. Apparently, among their demands is, of course, fair wages. They want to be paid $25 an hour. And a lot of people have displayed their displeasure with the fact that these workers want a living wage, want a fair wage. And I think that that's really gross that people are doing that. And it's just like, if you get your ass up to work, if you go to anybody's establishment and take your labor there, you should come home with a check that can support you, period. I don't care what y'all talk, I don't care what you do. And that's just it. Okay, so look at this. So this is a petition from the Union of Southern Service Workers. So it says, sign the petition now. I'll put the link to it in my description. Sign the petition now. Waffle House workers launch a set of powerful demands. Waffle House workers from across the South are fed up. We're sick and tired of making poverty wages, the constant threat of in-store violence, and mandatory meal deductions whether we eat a meal or not while on a shift. We refuse to be exploited, and so we're getting organized. We're launching a powerful set of demands on Waffle House to take back what is rightfully ours, a workplace based on respect, dignity, and fair pay for everyone. Specifically, we demand safety at work. Waffle House must provide 24/7 security and allow workers to have real input on creating a safety plan for their store, including during natural disasters. So they said an end to unfair paycheck deductions. Waffle House must end their mandatory meal deduction policy and make it optional for workers to purchase discounted shift meals. And then lastly, a fair wage from our employer. Waffle House must pay $25 an hour for all workers, cooks, and servers. This solidarity season, we need everyone from Waffle House workers to community allies and elected officials to sign this petition. So yeah, that's really what's going on. If you've seen them protesting on your timeline, I think it's absolutely crazy that their paychecks automatically get deducted for meals, I guess, that they supposedly eat while on shift, whether they have actually eaten a meal there or not. That's so crazy. And then the fair wage thing. So here come a lot, and I'm going to show this tweet right here. Because, I mean, I saw this in Cackled. There were a lot of people who really were pissed that these Waffle House workers dared to ask for $25 an hour. Like, instead of being pissed at these Waffle House employees for organizing and for advocating for themselves, why don't you go ask your people for a raise? Why don't you go ask your people for more money? I don't understand. So it's this idea that, oh, well, it's very much elitism. And I'm just like, girl, we are all looking around each other on the same boat. We're not even on a boat right now. We are on that plank that they was hanging on to for dear life at the end of Titanic. That's what we on right now. We all in the same boat. So we all need to be joining up for whatever across all industries to be making sure these bitches ain't exploiting us. What do you mean? People were so pissed. How dare they have the nerve, and they asking for so much money, they ain't even got no degree, And it's just like, you don't know nothing about people's life. You don't know who got a degree and who don't. And regardless of if you have a degree or not, if you go working in somebody's establishment, I'm gonna repeat this. Whether you have a degree or not, I don't care what you got. If you go work in somebody's establishment, you take your body and your life, your time to somebody's establishment, you need to come home with a check that can fucking support you. Period. And listen, when a server comes to your table with food, literal food that you're going to put in your stomach and sets it down, or when a cook makes the food that you're about to eat, I want to know how comfortable some of these people would be looking in these people's faces and saying, actually, I don't think you should have a living wage. I think your job should be, you know what I mean, as uncomfortable as we can make it. Like, would you be able to look at somebody in their face who bringing you your fucking food and telling them that you should stay at the coin level that you're making, even if it's, impossible to live off of? People love to disrespect the service. Like, they love to disrespect custodians, garbage men, servers, cooks, retail workers, cashiers. But I wonder if they asked themselves what this world would look like without people doing these jobs? Without these people doing these jobs, what would this world look like? It's the same personalities disrespecting these kinds of people. The people that work in the service industry is the same personalities that will go into nervous breakdowns if these jobs suddenly vanish, or the people doing these jobs suddenly vanished and it was vacant. I think it's interesting that a lot of society tries to shit on people who are working jobs that they themselves would crumble trying to do. And, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves if no one was doing these jobs. Like I said, obviously these jobs are important because y'all can't live without the restaurant experience, apparently. So why not pay them right? If there is a job exists, a position exists because there's work to be done. It's something that needs to be done. So why not pay them right? The reality is that a lot of people see service workers as less than. Like, they just look down on people who do service work. And so they revel in the fact that they get paid. These people who are assholes to people in the service industry, these assholes, they revel in the fact that, some of them may make a couple dollars per hour more than these service workers. Like, that's what they revel in, And so when these service workers are coming up here saying, no, we're human beings too, and we need to fucking eat just like the rest of y'all, and we need places to fucking live, you know what I mean? We need to be paid a fair wage. We're getting exploited just like the rest of y'all. It's these asshole self-esteems start to get a little bit shaky and wobbly, because it's like, how can I look down on you? How can I shit on you? How can I make fun of you and what you do for work if you're making the same amount as me or more? You know what I mean? Or more. And like I said, instead of getting mad at your employer for exploiting you, you're getting mad at other people. You're getting mad at Waffle House workers for teaming up and saying, hey, our employer ain't going to exploit us no more, period. And I think that's how, it is so easy for some of the people at the top to continue their exploitation, is because they are successful at getting the exploited to fight each other. Or you know what I mean? Instead of looking around and saying, hey, I don't care if you're a server, I don't care if you know what I mean, work as in the office somewhere. We all need to be getting paid. We all getting up to go work or do something, put our time and effort into something. We need to be getting paid for this shit, And then some people also say this one, well, if you pay people a living wage doing these service worker jobs, being a server, then they'll just stay in that job forever if you give them too much money in that job. I'm just like, first of all, so what? If that's what they need to do, if that job is what they need to do, or if that job is what they like to do or want to do, why should they not be paid properly for it? Number two is just a lot of people have this idea that, service work jobs is just, just something that you do in high school, just something that you do in your free time, no, people have spent their entire lives doing service work, and people do it, So to act like, it's just a stepping stone, for a lot of people, it's not just a stepping stone. This is the way that they make their coin, and they make their coin and going about their business. I don't understand why it's so hard. Like, why grasping the idea that workers should not be exploited in this way is so hard for some people who are also being exploited themselves. Girl, stand up. stand up. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I don't care if you're an actor, a writer in the TV industry. I don't care if you're a custodian. I don't care if you work at Waffle House. I don't care what the fuck you do. If you get your ass up and you spend your time and effort and energy doing something, putting your effort into something, I don't care if you're freelance or whatever the fuck, and you got to do invoices and 1099. I don't care what you do. You doing something, you taking the time, you're giving your life. You're spending hours and hours and hours of your day doing something. I don't care what it is. You don't need to be exploited. You need to be getting paid, period. Get y'all money, get y'all coin, get y'all shit. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.